Let's try this again. We were doing the flippers, and then parts were broken. I didn't have replacements, so I had to order. But the order has come in, so I've got all my new parts. So we're gonna do that again. But first, I was kind of in the middle of. I'm trying to do some more stuff on the top of the play field. Anyway, hi. Sorry, I forget to greet. I don't do this stream thing very well. I forget to greet people. But anyway, I'm working on these little wires right here. These are for the switch and the kickback, and they're now not long enough anymore. And I've tried to figure out why they're shorter than they were. And I've gotten to a point where it's like, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to make them longer. So I'm going to, before I get onto the flippers, now that I have all the parts, I'm going to make this a little bit longer, feed it through the hole, solder that connection on. I've got all afternoon, or at least until one of our other trucks show up, which I don't know when that's going to be. So yeah, this could be one of those really long streams again. But progress-wise, I think I'm doing pretty good. I say that, but, you know, I do. I think I'm doing pretty good. Follow along. You're welcome to hang out with me. Chat, talk, sit back, relax, watch the chaos as I rebuild this stupid machine. Alright, I think first I'm going to get these stripped. Now that we know we're going to just give up on what it was, and we're going to just do it fresh. So we'll start down here. And we're just going to start anew. I don't know why these are a lot shorter. I was looking at the picture that I had, and they get over there, but they don't now. Must have been a slight misalignment or different placement of exactly where this bundle is lined up compared to the old one, or whatever. I don't care. It'll be done. It'll be done now. It'll be long enough. Tie these two together. They go together, according to the picture anyway. And then this one, I'm going to strip it. Clean that. But yeah. Hope everybody's doing okay. Hope you're all having a great previous week or new week. New week in the new year again. Pinball love. I need my parts. I need my tools. I need my parts and my tools. There it is. Hey, how you going? Nothing like pinball repairs in the background of work. Cool, cool, cool. That's what I like. Just have it going on in the background. You keep doing what you're doing. I'll do what I'm doing. We're just gonna hang out and enjoy it. Alright, I need to get some wire from my supply of Neo Geo sacrificed wire. And I'll stick with the right colors, white and green. I'm just doing a switch here, so it's no big deal. I need a wizard to fix my Red and Ted's eyes. I'm told it's somewhat hopeless. Well, I've never had a Red Ted Roadshow, so I don't know exactly what the mechanism looks like. But I don't think hopeless is the answer. There's always a way. Even if it's not the way it was intended, somebody's got a solution. Somewhere. Maybe if somebody sell us that game, I could figure out a solution. I just don't know it. But good to know that there's issues. Something to look forward to if ever we get one. I'm just cutting some wire over here. I'll be back in the frame in a second. Oops, sorry. Yeah, we have 5 sacrificed Neo Geo cabinets that I took all the wiring and all the parts out of. So anytime I get little bits of wire that I need, it's from a sacrificed, dead Neo Geo. They are still living their best life in another game. That's all that matters. They're keeping something else alive, even though they're dead, because they're crappy Neo Geos. And they crappy, I mean they were sat outside forever. My Red Ted's Roadshow works perfectly fine because, well, it's a virtual one, so guess that doesn't count. But that's the only one I got. Only one I got. These things, I've had these crimpers for decades, and I've never used them. Before I did any of this stuff, I didn't know what good they were. I didn't see that there was any purpose for these kind of things. It was like, man, these kind of suck. I don't like the wire strippers. They're down here, blah, 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 blah. And then I started doing this. I'm like, you know what? This is designed for it. Oh, my gosh. This is how you crimp them. You got your red, your blue, and your yellow. And you line it up there. It's so much easier to crimp these things with this tool. And it's the cheapest tool. You can get them in almost every kit. Living my life was living a lie. Ugh. That. So it's also going to mean, because I am extending these wires, I'm going to have to try to probably zip tie them a little bit to keep them out of the way, which is fine. At least I won't be struggling on the top. And that's where the biggest problem is. Keeping a close eye on my security camera feed and see if our delivery truck shows up so I can let them into the restaurant. Did I push this down too far? No, I didn't. I just gotta beat it right. Lovely, lovely. Feed your green wires in. Never know when you're gonna need them. This is to, I don't know the official names of the different parts of this machine, but this is that one side of the ramp kickback thing. And I'm going to assume I have a solid connection because it feels solid right there. Maybe I can find another wire at the end to bounce off of. It obviously has to go somewhere. Wonder if it's connected to the other side. Let's find out. Holy miny, tiny, tiny. Where's the other side? Oh, did I already feed it through? Let's just try one of these green wires. Oh, I didn't strip that one. I'm sure it's fine, or else the wire would come out. Yeah, so we're going to have a lot more wire. I want to make sure it's not going to get bound up, but I just wanted to have enough. I don't know why it was so short. Butt connectors. But my connectors are butts. No, not on there. On here. But. Did I get it? I think I might have gone too high here. Hold on. That's okay. We go lower. Nice on there. This is going to be the ground side anyway. We'll find out momentarily. Don't want to struggle. I was telling Brent earlier, Brent was here earlier working on some machines before he did other projects. I was telling him earlier that the part I'm working on right now is the part when I got the machine that I looked at going, oh my gosh, I would never want to do a playfield swap because it has a lot of wiring in one little spot. And here I am. I'm doing it. I think I jinxed myself into doing a playfield swap. I'm going to feed these in the little hole down here. The one little access point. Alright, so that's going to go there. I'm going to zip tie that. I mean, might as well do it now. We're here. And I have a zip tie. So I'm going to use the normal color zip ties for this. That way I know that it's not a temporary zip tie. Black or white zip ties only. The fluorescent ones are for the ones I got to cut off. Come on, I just need something to grab onto. Just that one. That one's fine. Thank you. Nope, flip it over. Thank you. Put my soldering iron on over there. I'll confirm with the pictures one more time. Let's flip it over. Oh, sorry, box. Box is in the way. Maybe you shouldn't put stuff underneath the rotisserie. Maybe you should just shut your mouth. Alright, so we're over here now. Yeah, this little section is just chaos with wires. So we got flasher wires. We got this switch wires. Let me see if I can get the picture back up, which I need to get the picture up anyway. Yeah, so let's see if we can, where's the camera? So that's what it was. And I was like on the old playfield going, ugh, I don't want to deal with all that. Look at all that crap. And here we are. It's all right there. I'm dealing with all that crap. Get that back here. I just put the switch on. I've already wired the, I might have to readjust that if the ball wants to hit it. These switches are on an adjustable. But yeah. So I've already wired in the flashers. Soldered those this morning. I want to solder the other two coils, and then I'll move on back to the flippers. Let me get my splicing thingies. And my camera is over there. Alright, I've got to go to the other side. So obviously I don't want a bunch of wires sticking up here, but I just want to not have to struggle to find stuff. Get off of there. Soldering iron is on, and it's right near a very dangerous part of my body, so you gotta be a little careful. That there. Oh, that one's already stretched, but it doesn't matter, it's too long. There. Don't go too short, or we're back to the same problem we had. Alright, so I'm going to make sure I've got it with the pictures. Doesn't hurt to double check. Alright, white wire is going to go way over here. You can see this screw. It's going to go off of this to the diode that's connected there. Green wire goes onto here. And I think there's enough solder on this side, so I can just do the green wire. Yes, 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 I know. A little bit extra, I'll feed it back through, but come on, dude. Soldering iron is in a predicament. Come here, go that way. Oh my gosh, I got my soldering iron caught. Soldering iron caught. And now it's unplugged. And there we go. Don't touch the metal bit, it's hot. It's a hot. It's a hot. Lisa touched the metal part. It's a hot. No, Jar Jar. Don't say I didn't warn you out today. Should be nice and quick. Nice. So nice, I'll solder it twice. So now it's maybe a little too much wire here. We'll feed that back through. Get this guy over here. I need to get some solder on it. Showing people over the weekend that came into the arcade, showing the play field and all the work we've done so far. And everybody has the same consensus of they would never ever have tried this. Even the one arcade guy that I know, he's like, I don't even own a rotisserie. I'm like, well, you should. Alright, that's that. That's that. Now I'm at least going to check to see if the switch is working. That would be prudent. But it's so pretty now. Wonder if I can get an overhead shot and like compare wise. Yeah, I think I can do that. Come here, camera. Don't flip out. Come on, just calm down. We're cool here. We're all cool here. Everybody's a friend. There it is. So that's what we were working on. That's what it was. But it's also showing me that the switch is in the wrong spot. But I'm going to find out here because I think it's just got to activate a little bit. But that's okay. That's why it's on a slidey thingy. So we can get out of the way of the ball. Just tighten that down there a little bit. And I'm going to put up my meter on it and we'll just see if it's firing. All this has to be adjusted once I get the rail back on. Hi!
Cubbing is now following.
Thank you for calling, Cubbing. Oh yeah, there was also over the weekend. I forgot. There's who was this? Let me go and give them some names. So we have Drainbow Pinball, Carlson App or Carlson PP, The Unrule Effect, Man Adams, Maverick 20 or 203B. Yeah, a bunch of people followed when I wasn't on, so kudos to those people. Thank you. Sorry I didn't notice. Why is my voltage up there? Okay. I'm just gonna check the switch to make sure it's working. I think it is. Micro switches are fairly easy. If it's clicking, it's usually working. Come here, you. Do I have it? Is it clicky? Maybe it's not working. Or maybe... Oh. Maybe I got it on the wrong side? No, I got it right side. Goes to the diode. Oh, okay. It's working, it's just the beep sometime is not a good indicator. You gotta look at the numbers. Alright, well, that's that one. Should I do this other kick switch or just leave it for now? I've got time. I mean, I'm not doing anything else. Let's do the other kick switch. And please do not take what my terms as official Williams terms for things. I'm calling it a kick switch because it kicks the ball back. I don't know. It could be called something completely else in the manual, but the manual's not here right now to correct me, so I'm going to call it what I want. Kick switch. backwards ramp kick switch. Alright. Which also means I took this completely off. So there's a box that has that piece. There it is. There it is. Kick switch. Oh yeah, we got this lamp to put on here too. And flashers. Gotta put this whole lampy thingy back up here. I think it goes through one of these things, but I'm gonna wait because I don't want this to bang around and scratch the playfield. So it can go on later. For now, kicky switchy. Thank you. This one's different. This one's a different design. So this one is a little bit more, it's a thinner wire on that side. This side is the beefier one. So one of these must have been replaced at some point. I'm going to guess it was the other one. I'm surprised I didn't notice that when I took it apart. Let me find it on here, make sure we're doing it right. Flip this side. Wires are stupid. Yep, wires are stupid. Okay. So I'm going to take the ball guide back off. Yes, I put it on there, but I put it on there so I wouldn't forget where it went. With the whole idea that I was going to be taking it off again. Oh, and tighten the rotisserie, because that's not fun when that wants to turn on you. Tight, tight, tight. Tighten it up. Taking this off, unscrewing it out of the play field. Once we start getting all the ramps and stuff back in, I know there's going to be some adjustments that have to be done to make sure that things fit right. I'm well aware. I'm not going to be upset when that moment comes. Like, look, I knew I had to take it off. That's pretty tight. Alright. Excuse me. Thank you. Screw down here. There. So I got like tons of wire for this side. The other side then barely had any wire. Come on. My tape thing. If you weren't here for the beginning of the playfield swap, I taped off all the stuff that I took the wires off of. So any switches or coils, any of that stuff where I took the wires off, that stuff I labeled. The other stuff where it was obvious to me what it was, I didn't waste the time labeling because it's obvious what it was. Alright, so this guy goes in here. I got parts to go in there. Bucket. There's this and the screws. Hello, screws. I'm Johnny Cash. No, come on. Get out of the bucket. Isn't that a shiny playfield, though? He's so pretty. Yeah, this must be... Oh, maybe this is the different switch, because they look to bent the things out so freaking far. Oh, come on, man. I know I've got big fingers, but come on. There we go. Those go in there. Let's put a buffer in there. Oops. And we'll push that into there while simultaneously lining the screws up. Wouldn't want to screw up. Just screw down. Screw, screw, screw. Those two. Okay. Get this threaded. And then we'll tighten it on there in a minute. Oh, come on. And I don't know what the other little piece was to... basically, it's to block something, but I don't know what it was, so I might be skipping it. I also have a little collection too. A little collection of screws that I have left over. You know it's a complete rebuild when you have extra screws. Come on, find the hole. Find your hole. There it is. There you go, little guy. Yeah, that's a little guy. Just get that threaded. We'll put this back on and we'll tighten all that stuff up in a minute. This diode, it's got to go onto there, but that's for a minute from now. So that goes here. Boy, we got tiny, tiny spaces. That goes here, that goes there. Is this the other side? Okay, this is the more narrow side. You definitely can't have wires touching metal. So if I have to, I'm going to have to put some sort of like buffer in there. But let's just put this thing back. Putting it back together, getting it to a place that I understand. What did you do? Dude, get over here. Yeah, so this brand new playfield is slightly more narrow than the original. But this should be compensated for right here, so that shouldn't be our problem. Shouldn't be. Could be all the time, though. Always. Taking time. Can't wait to play this. Can't wait to play, but I have to wait. Oh, we took the plastics off of the old one so long ago. It's going to be fun trying to figure out how to go back on there. Alright, you guys are separate, right? So I have a problem here where that is too close to the rail. See how close it was in the picture. Yeah, so it was super close in the picture. This is the original, so yeah. If anything, I might put a piece of, no, I might dab a piece of hot glue back off the end of this switch so that it doesn't accidentally touch. This I feel is not long enough to go over here. Should it go onto the wire or went across the front? What is going on with that? Why does it feel like everything's so much smaller now? Yeah, that's really far away from the... Alright, we're going to screw you down. You can get screwed down too, I guess, because that's clicking. That's fine. Alright, there we go. This is such a bad setup. It's going to need some hot glue. It definitely is going to need some hot glue. There's soldering irons over there. Excuse me, camera, just for a minute. They don't make wireless ones here, so I gotta rearrange the wires. OXL's a little bit cleaner since we had the arcade open. Wah! Wah! Tiny movements. Alright, soldering iron. I don't want to take this rail off, but I will. I didn't put the nails on it, so. Don't breathe the solder. Solder's not good to breathe. Yeah, this thing is not. This thing is so close to the other side. It's just bad stuff waiting to happen right there. There's that one. This one is not, this diode is not going to reach. I wonder if I should just replace this diode. I've got diodes. Wonder if a new one would be longer. Let's take this thing off maybe. Yeah, so this diode, these are standard diodes that all the pinballs have, so it's good to have a whole butt ton of them. Butt ton. Butt ton is an actual thing. I'm pretty sure it's the right one. 400 4001, yep. Because it's not going to reach this screw no matter what I do. So I should probably go get some more. Who was that? Somebody with the trailer. Cray cray. Alright. But my diodes are right next door, so I'm going to grab one real quick. Get my keys. Give you a little Crash Bandicoot here for a second. So I'll be right back. Alright. We're back. Thanks, Crash. Thanks for letting people know. And I think, let me verify with the internet before I do something stupid. Because the internet's always where you look up truth. Alright. Dun, dun, dun. Two. Superior replacement for, okay, so yeah. I was sure I was right. Okay, so these diodes is a 4001. My replacement ones are 4004, which are the better ones. And they'll work. So the only thing I got to do is make sure I've got the right side on the right thing. But I also want to make sure that they're longer so I can get to where I need to go. Yeah. Alright, I am going to take this rail off just to make my life easier. And might as well, because we want to do things right anyway. Every time I take something, I always set it someplace I don't want to set it. Oh, it's on the floor! Taking our rails back off. It's okay, it's only one. 2, 3 screws. Taking our rails back off, working backwards, just to make sure you're doing it right. I know it's hiding underneath this freaking flasher, but that's okay. Come here, you. What? Flasher's not in that much of a way. Maybe it is. Maybe the flasher's just going to be a douche. Alright, loosen the flasher. I can't get in things in the where it belong. Loosen the flasher. Thank you. Get this screw out. Originally I put the rails on here first, which is not the order that I took everything off, but I put the rails on to protect the playfield as I was working on the bottom of it when it wasn't on the rotisserie. And it did its job. So, it protected. Uno mas. Mas uno. Anybody that's wanting to attempt to do a playfield swap, you have my condolences, because, yeah, it is not a piece of cake. It is definitely a test of patience and skill. Can we do it? Can we do it? Yes, we can. Alright, banded side is over here closest to the switch. This might be threaded, so I might have to pull. Don't do the wires, dude. Just get some of that original solder going. Thank you. Banded side to the switch. Let me clean that off real quick. And we'll thread the new one in. Banded side to the switch now. Why are you caught under my foot? That's not gonna do. Uh-oh. You know what else I want to do? Let's do that. Let's not be stupid right now. Let's protect the playfield just a smidge. There. Let's just do that. That feels better. Not saying that the paper towel can't catch on fire, but thank you. Banded side, I'm gonna kind of make a little hook on here. Where's my strippers? They disappeared. Oh, here we go. But that's okay, I've got needle nose pliers. They'll help me in this situation. Just want to make a little, tiny little hook to hook it up. Tiny hook. Thank you. Come on. You gotta get close, buddy. We don't want to... There we go. Tiniest little bit of a hook. Because the hook will bring me back. Well, maybe that might be too hooky. Maybe a little less tiny hook. Get in there. Then, if I have to, because I don't know if I have enough of that plastic sheathing, I could probably just use heat shrink without the heat shrink part to give me a little bit of a hole. Oh yeah. I don't have to hook it, but it'll help. on, buddy. Did I make the hook really that small? Come on. I can't see these tiny little things. He's so tiny. I cannot see it. Come on. Back out a little bit. Diode. Die, die, die. Alright. You've got to hook now. There's got to be a hooking diode. I know there's a hole there. Come on. Is the hole big enough? Get in there. Fine, you know what? Look, look. We're just going to do this. Look. There. It's a big... Ow. Hey, that wire puts up a lot of heat. There we go. There you go. What? What? You got nothing. Don't even talk to me. Alright. A little bit more of the silver juice. We're not breathing. We're not breathing. We're not breathing anything. Thank you. Now, is this thing worth saving? I think maybe it might be. Slide that on there. Cross the diode. Come on. Filter. Filter. Where's the end of it? There we go. You come over here. Right. Diode. You go under here. And now, lay across the top of that and you get to where I need you. Yes, you do. Thank you. Along with this guy. Alright. A little bit more solder is going to help. And I'll get my needle nose to hold this crap on while I do it. Are you aching? Yub, yub, yub. For some solder. Come here, you. Come here, you. Wise guy, eh? On there. Yes, stay there for a second. Let me get the other wire. Thank you. You're there. You lay across, and then maybe I can keep you both on without there being too much of an issue. Stay there, get hot. Like my arm? That's a good shot of my arm. But doing it right is a little bit more important than the visual. Alright. Tighten that back down. Or ever. Thank you. Make sure we blow this real good. I don't want to get any of that scratching my playfield. Alright. That's still just ugly AF, but see how far away it is from this thing. If I have to put something there. This actually has a little bit of scorching on the back. How about we just clean that off? How about I just bite the bullet and do a little glue gun, which means I have to unplug this. Because that's just going to bother me if it touches. Maybe not. Hold on. Alright, I got a better idea. Not a better idea, just a quicker idea. little bit of alcohol. This will work because it's not going to get that much heat anyway. I'm just going to put a little bit of toppy on the back. There we go. A little bit of electrical tape right there. Did a bit of rubbing alcohol. It's not going to be moving. It'll make me feel better that I'm not going to accidentally spark something. Spark some joy is in the form of electricity. Do you want to spark joy or do you want to start a fire? Come here, you. Alright, so once we get this part back on, I'm going to do these two coils up here real quick because I have the soldering iron, and then we'll get going on the flippers. Back to the flippers, since I have new coils. And I have to try to avoid the temptation to just change out all the coils and only change out the coil that I need to. Come on. Alright, so all this is going to sit under the plastic, right? Yeah. Push that down. Out of the way. And if we have to, this thing can be readjusted. Have to wait till the rails are on anyway. Okay. There's some nails that need to go into here, but that can wait. Down here. That's over there. Okay. Nice, 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 nice. All right, that is that wiring. That's a big step. There's some flashers on the back that have to wait because they go on top of plastics and crap, but I can at least finish this stuff. When I get my camera out to make sure I put it on right. There it is. I found it. Camera. Canberra. Come on. Coil, 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 coil. Over here. Here we are. This coil has blue on top, purple on bottom. Again, feels like there's not as much space as there was before. Blue on top, purple on bottom. Come on. I'll cut you off, man. I don't care. We'll do it. We'll do it. I'm not afraid. Just don't cut the wires. Yep, I know. I know not to cut the wires. Thank you. Thank you. Blue on top, purple on the bottom. Let's get some solder on this bad boy. Solder up there. And solder down here. We were noticing in the arcade that, Devil's Dare has a kickback, but it's a manual one that you have to fire on your own. So it's got an extra flipper on the left side. And we were noticing that people, when they start to play, they automatically put their finger on that button instead of the flipper button. And then they want to complain to us that it's not working. Hey, this flipper's not working. That's because you got your finger on the wrong button. What? There's another button? And then you have to stand there and explain it. And I wonder if it was that big of a problem back in the 80s. Like, were people a little bit more in tune to it? Like, oh, obviously there's going to be a manual kickback, so I should put my finger here. But can't wait until we get Haunted House in there, and then there's 4 buttons, and they're going to figure out what. It's like Johnny Mnemonic. They can't figure out how the glove works on Johnny Mnemonic. Have to explain that too, and they still can't figure it out. Crazy. I know. Just go right there. That's it. That's it. That's all you gotta do. Okay. One more, and then we're flipping this bad boy over. Again. I gotta go over here. Ugh. He's back there. You can kind of see him. This is our ball push thingy. Oh, come on. Ah, there we go. Alright. Just to verify. Don't want to put the wrong one on the wrong thing. Brown on top, red on bottom. The brown on top and the red one on bottom. I can do that all day long. Come here, you. So we're going to backtrack a little on the flippers here in a second. Now that we know the flipper kit does not come with all the parts, and I reordered. So we are going to backtrack. I need to get a little solder. A little bit more solder, a little more action. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you. Should I strip that? Maybe just a little bit. It's not that great. Slightly strip it a little bit more. There we go. Starting to lose all my tools again. Wouldn't be a rebuild if you knew the location of all your tools. There we go. Yeah, I didn't need my hands. No, that's fine. Thank you. Alright, buddy. I know. It's probably going to get a little hot. Yep. What you're saying is I should probably have used needle nose pliers for this? Probably. But we're already here now. Let's kind of go with it. Stay there. That is not at all good. Needle nose. Needle nose. It's too hot. It's as if it's supposed to be hot. Thank you. Just right there. There we go. That's good. Hold it. Hold it. Hold for the picture. That was not holding for the picture. Bro. Alright. That's fine. Just stop it. Come on. Drink. Drink it up. Drink it up. Maybe don't have enough solder on this. Not as much solder as I want. know. There we go. Now get solid. There we go. Alright. Oh, you punk bastard. So I hate trying to use needle nose. Ugh. I'm letting go too early is the problem. There. Oh my gosh. Alright. Back to Flipperland. They call it Flipperland. Flipperland. No, I just do. Alright. Here's all my stuff for Marco that will be very necessary in this bit that we're about to do. Alright, guys. Nothing in the way. Flip it back over. Flip, 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 flip. All the terms about flipping. Flip, flip. Alright, now I think what I was wanting to do to get a better angle on this, because the side camera doesn't really do that much. I was thinking of maybe getting the top camera to zoom down where it will show better. And angle down this way. There we go. Alright, so this one we already kind of rebuilt. We're going to redo parts of it. Now that we got new parts for this. So the flipper kits did not come with these bushings. So I ordered all new bushings. We cleaned the one that was on there, but I didn't want to clean it. I want a new one. Because you're supposed to put a new one in. You're not supposed to clean the old ones if you don't have to. Where is it at? There it is. Coiled. Okay. Get my wrench. And the switch was not tightening because of the stupid little thingy. So essentially we're almost completely redoing this. Not all the way, but almost. Where's the actual flipper? There it is. And I probably should tighten the stupid playfield again. I need to build one of these playfield rotisseries with like a locking arm that you just go ka-chunk and lock it instead of trying to do this kind of crap. But that will not be today. Alright. There's nobody outside. Alright, loosening up my battery. Drop out. Thunk. These are also brand new bats. All the bats were broken. You just kind of roll this way for a minute. Thank you. These are, when we get to the Sorcerer, his is missing these screws on the bushing. And you know why that happens? Because they didn't thread lock them when whoever put them on replaced them. That's not going to be our problem. We got this, bro. Alright, so we're kind of backtracking, but that's fine. I'm okay with backtracking. As long as you make it right. Alright, take that guy out. And then I want to get a towel set up on my table. Oops, sorry about that, camera. Also, I ordered screws, and I don't know if I got the right size, so we're about to find out. Let me go compare the sizes here. So I had to order screws for the Sorcerer. So, I think I did. Yep. I got the right screws. Cool, cool, cool. Sorcerer is 1985. It's 1 year before this, so I lucked out with some of the stuff. Alright. Bushing. Brand new bushing. We're going to clean it first. Even though they're new, I still clean it anyway. Okay. You can go sit right here. Thank you. And then I need to get my thread lock out again. It's just the blue thread locker stuff. You can get that at Walmart or whatever. I'm almost out in this, but I do have some more. By almost out, it is out. Never mind, I'm going to open a new one. All these high impact things, flippers, sometimes slingshots or whatever, but all the high impact things that don't have a locking nut on the back, you have to use thread lock. Because they're just going to vibrate themselves free if you don't. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but soon and when you need it. Oh, I gotta cut the top off. Womp womp. It's that new, I gotta cut the top off. Thank you. Blue thread lock. Okay. Get my screwdriver. I feel better with new bushings. Don't you feel better when you got new bushings? Everybody feels better with new bushings. My hand is as steady as a record player that's running down a mountain. Steady, steady. My EOS is already brand new. I think I need to just tighten this one, loosen this one up a little here so I can turn. Come on, turn. Get that down in there, thank you. Don't tighten them down until you get all three in. Or however many are supposed to be in them. Different manufacturers want to be all different and weird. Go. That's there. That's that one. Alright. That one. Okie dokie. Now the EOS. Because The back I had was all worn out, and I didn't have any more backs. So I had to order some. But now I gotta find my flathead screwdriver. That is somewhere here. Haha, you need a flathead and you don't know where it is. Oh, there it is. Found its way back up onto the rack. I need my flathead screwdriver, yes I do. Gonna be a flathead just like you. Flathead screwdriver making it through the day. Don't lose that screw. Yeah, this one was stupid loose because the freaking clip was just gone. It's always nice to find that out when you're about to do the project and you don't have extra parts, and then you have to order stuff and it takes 3 days because, you know, middle of nowhere. But hey, 3 days is better than 5 weeks. Alright, so basically it's this little clip that I gotta replace. Of which I got some. There they are. All from Marco. I think on this project in the last week I've ordered from Marco like 4 times because I always forget things that I need. Just like everywhere else. And I still have to order again because I still forgot stuff. I'm like, dang it. But now I'm waiting because maybe there might be something else to screw up this rebuild. Alright, that's good. Might be a little bit more difficult with the coil on it, but we'll find out. I don't want to take the coil off. It's sitting so pretty right now. It's so easy to be a pretty coil. Come back out, guys. Just a tad. Alright, now, can I get this on here without dropping it? The answer is probably going to be no. I'm going to try anyway. Just need to get one side. Ooh, lay flat, lay flat. Come on. Find the hole, find the hole. Be a friend, be a friend. Oh, you're not a friend. That's not friendly at all. Fine, stay back there. There we go. Let's do this. Let's get you started. Yes, now grab the other one. Come here. No. It's like surgery. Certainly surgery. Back up, back up, back up, back up. You come up here. Now, stop it. If you're not talking to inanimate objects, are you even doing it right? There we go. That's all I need you to do is start threading. Oh, what was that? What was that bit of defiance? Ya bastard. Come here. Back up. Let's try that again. Get in the hole. Stop turning on me. This is easier to do with the coil off. I get that. Come on. Just start threading. That's all I need. Just start threading. Start threading. Yes. Thank you. We'll put the bat back on. But the bat came back the very next day. There we go. Now it's tightening. That's what we needed 4 days ago. Alright. Sitting kind of parallel. We don't want it to droop down and miss the switch and or touch something it shouldn't be. There we go. Up like that. Tighten. And Nice. Now we can put the bat back on. But because I touched the bat, I think I want to touch it up with a little alcohol first. And I got my mirror. So I can line it up. Mirror underneath. All these tools that I'm about to wonder where they went. That's what I want. Alright. Bat, 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 bat. Right there. Alright, so all the way, so it lines up that way, flat. So basically the flipper bat is lining up with the rail to continue on the rail. And you also don't want to go too up against the play field because you don't want it to rub, but you also don't want it too high because blah, blah, blah. So you just find that happy little medium. Just kind of like get it to the play field and then just let it come down just a hair. A hair's breadth. And then you kind of have to get this to fit a little snug first before you make your final adjustment on the flipper. I think it needs to come down just a little. Come on, buddy. Not that much. Right there. Tighten a little bit. Make sure I'm where I want to be. Lining up, lining up. Tighten more. Oop. Make sure it's lining up. Alright, now I can tighten the bejesus out of it. Bejesus. You don't want a loose flipper bat, let me tell you. I am telling you. That's pretty much what I'm doing. Super tight. Obviously, if you break the screw, you've gone too far. All right. That looks good. Now, it should break right at the end, and I think I need to readjust that now that it's there. The switch is tight. You want it to break open right at the end of the stroke. That's why it's called the end of stroke switch. And this one's not quite going as far as I would want it to. Too early and you lose your power. Too late and it obviously won't work. I just want to be right there at the end. And then Fliptronic ones are backwards, so it's the reverse. But all these old ones, like I could probably tweak that just a little bit more so it gets a little bit closer. Just get a little bit more power. Move this guy. Yeah. There we go. Chink, chink, chink. All right. Well, that was our backtrack. Now, move back to where we were. Let's see if I can get some shots here. Da, da, da. There's that flipper. That one that caused all the problems yesterday or the other day. Now, let's move this camera to get a better shot of it. Oh, well, no, I'm going to need that. Wide it out. Wide out. Turn up here. There we go. Get that camera turned. Get that camera turned. Get that camera turned. That one right there. That's the bastard. Right there. Right there. And then I think I had this one over here because it was easier to see it. I should have a 40 camera setup so I can do all this, but I don't. And who does really? Alright, so this is the one that ended the stream last time. Because it was like, well, I guess I gotta stop because I don't have enough parts. But now, hopefully we do. So this coil that's labeled good is not. Not good at all. We gotta change out the switch. Gotta clean all these switches. Alright, we're back where we started. Okay. Back where we left off again. Oh yeah, I only put one screw back in here. All the stuff is down here. I had to move everything for the arcade to be open, so I tried to keep it all in one place. Remember what I said is I bought 3 flipper kits so that I could do the 2 or 3 flippers here, but also the 3 flippers on Sorcerer. And I think I lucked out because the upper flippers are opposite on Sorcerer and this one, so the kits will work. Alright, first things first. I need an Allen wrench. Yep, I know. Dropping tools. Filling up OXL with parts again. That's not it. That's not going to do anything. What about this one? There we go. There we go. And I save all these old flipper parts. You never know when you're going to be missing a piece. Something falls off of one. You want to make sure you have all that stuff. You know, switches and things like that. Right. So this is why we had to stop right here. So take this out. Coil sleeve. Coil sleeve was stuck on it. So this is gone. This is gone. Coil sleeve goes in the trash. Keep the coil stop, but this coil is gone. He's a broken, my friends. Cracked in multiple places, just bajucked up. Bajucked. So now I gotta take the solder off and put things back where they were. We'll clean up some of this stuff too, so I want to get pictures. Make sure I got the right pictures. Your purchase reminder. Remember to buy receipt paper. Thank you, Amazon. Appreciate that. These wire colors look really much the same. So we have blue, yellow over here. Yeah. Well, anyway, we're just going to have to figure it out. Or keep it all together. That one's going to go over here. These two I'll keep on that side. Blue, yellow's on the end. Don't mix up your wiring on that coil. And we know the flippers did work, so now let's just say goodbye to Mr. Coil. Say goodbye to Mr. Coil. A little bit harder. A little bit harder. Thank you. Come on. Still be careful of solder bombs. You don't want solder bombs. One's over there. This one's over here. There we go. So, I'm going to hang that here for a second without burning myself. So the blue with yellow on that side, this one on this side. These ones go to the end of stroke switch, which we got to replace anyway. So just take those off, and we'll say goodbye to this coil. It is no good no more. I mean, it was, because it was firing, so can't say that it's no good. There we go. But it's dead, my friends. Lived a good life. Lived a hard life. So shed off this mortal coil. Oh man, poor coil. Oh, you're so burned. Oh. Now I'll say it's not going to work again. It's officially dead. But it is fun to tear apart. Bye, coil. Thanks for all the memories or whatever you did. We appreciate it. Oh. Alright. Work our way down. Let's get... Normally, if this was... Why are my tongues all up? If this was still in the machine, I would take off the whole plate. But we're laying flat, so I'm not doing that. I'm just going to clean most of it right there. We're just going to take off the stuff we're replacing. So, bushing is going to go away, but not thrown away, just going to go away. We're going to reuse the screws. Should be nothing wrong with them. And then this whole switch mechanism thing is apparently it activates some other switches that in the game, which I guess I'll figure out when I finally get to play it. This truck's going through our alley. Okay. Yeah. Take all this out. Let me get this over to the table. Take my screws out. I think I'm going to throw them in the alcohol. Get my screws in the alcohol. Bushing in the cup. It's bushing. Bushing. Alright, so this might be a little bit of a challenge. I might have to take and move there. We'll see. Maybe I can get the whole stack off. Did you just say stack off? Yeah, I said stack off. Clean all that. This is not supposed to be a gray color. Oh, that can go in the trash before I accidentally try to use it again. Careful of your switch stacks. These ones have lock washers on. Oh, and they're Phillips. What? Freaking threw me a curveball. Putting Phillips heads in here? Come on now. Not getting a good angle. Not getting a good angle. Don't make me take the whole plate off. I don't want to. Where's my thingy? All my tools have disappeared. That's because I had to move them. It's okay, I'll figure it out. This is just gonna be a little weird. Yep. This one is not conducive to coming off without taking the whole plate off. So I gotta take the whole plate off. That's okay. That's okay. It will be if I can find my freaking wrench. My driver. I need my sand wedge. Not my driver. Oh, it's got to be under here. We were using it. To all the tools I've lost before. Where did you go when I needed you most? You were here for me all through last week, and now you're like a ghost. But I'll just use this one. It's not what I want, but it'll work anyway. We'll just take this plate off and start over, because that's how it wants to be. And maybe while I'm doing this, I'll see where I put the other one. Or maybe I won't. And I'll make this even harder. Don't lose your screws, taking off your things. Because the flipper doesn't flip itself. It needs a little love and tenderness. Flipper's gonna have to be a part of your life to be worth it. I'm randomly saying words now, just to provide some background music. 'Cause the last thing that I need right now is a copyright strike on my channel. 'Cause I don't have the time to deal with all this creative BS. Trying to get my flippers fixed is all I'm trying to do. And now this one's gonna be a big pain in the butt. So I need to get this other little thing put on it. Where are you at? Where are you at, Paco? There you are. Paco, Chaco, Taco, Paco. Oh, I don't have the room. Who designed this place? It wasn't designed to fix pinball machines, I can tell you that. Oh, man. You're going to be that guy, aren't you? You are going to be that guy. You beveled bastard. He's a beveled bastard, but I love him. He won't take out a screw, so he's kind of worthless. Don't know what to do with all this beveling. Evelyn Bevelin. I know. I get it. I get it, buddy. Before I finish this, I'm going to find that other one. I had to modify Devil's Dare this morning, so maybe the tool might be near Devil's Dare. Or maybe Brent stole it because he doesn't know things and he takes stuff. Or maybe I just misplaced it instead of just blaming Brent. But it's more fun to blame Brent because he's not here and he doesn't watch the stream, so I can blame him all I want. They call it flipper, flipper, that's how you hit the ball. There we go. Oh yeah. Thank you. What the? This one had freaking washers on the bottom. What? Doesn't matter. Should have thread lock. Now I can get to these, which was the main purpose of all of this anyway. But at least I can take the whole Madougal off and clean the plate before I put it back on. Did not know that these ones actually had a screw underneath. Is that one? those ones do too. Interesting. Maybe I have to take the plates off. Alright, you stay together right there, thank you. And you come with me, because you're going to get changed. You're going to be different. Come with me if you want to be cleaned. Now I'm kind of curious because I did not know that there were nuts on the bottom. Of this. Pretty sure they were just threaded in. Huh. Interesting. Alright, well, not my problem right now. Now, swing this camera a little bit this way so I can do this and you can see what I'm doing. Hi! Acutely curious? Cool stuff, thank you. Look at my microphone, it's making a debut. It's good enough. Good enough, good enough. Get out my way. Move, tools, get out the way. Get out the way, tools, get out the way. Alright, we'll redo you. We'll redo you. And we'll get it right. Okay. That goes in there. This we don't want to lose. And clean this guy. Get some toothbrushy and some more alky. Kind of have some more alcohol. Start your day with 91% isopropyl alcohol. Isopropyl. It's what geniuses use. Oh, need more towels. Need more towels than I got. A lot of crud. Maybe we should just do a big wash right here first. Get all that off of here. Did not know that there were lock washers on the back of. Well, they're not lock washers, threaded washers. Ooh, this one's kind of rough, but it still works. It still works. Little bumper. Let's get all that over here. Doesn't really matter because we gotta do it anyway. And I might. Yeah, it's not coming off very well. Hold on just a second. A little bit of this stuff. Wouldn't want to be. Don't have to sand this. I'm just trying to get a little bit more clean in there. So it's not so dirty. Nobody's going to see the flippers, but they still need to be cleaned to function properly. Thank you so much for your service. You were much cleaner once before. But this will have to do, 'cause it's all I ask of you. Stop being such a dirty flipper. That was too easy. Softballed it in there. Dirty flipper. Dirty. Got a lot of play over the last 30 some years, huh? Got tired of being so, meh. Alright, I gotta take the wires off of here. Might as well clean the wires. Cleaning some wires, getting them clean. Doing it all like I'm Ben Vereen. This has nothing to do with him, but it just rhymes with clean. Ben Vereen is probably very clean. Alright. I'm going to need the soldering iron. But let's just put these back on then, since we got the screws marinating. Take them out. Taking my screws out. Oh yeah, screw it up. Yeah, a thingy. I need a thingy. Bushing. Carolina bushing. Are you from the Carolina bushings? Yes. What's going on? What is your shirt? My shirt? You can't message me. My shirt is Old Doc Soda Shop. It's like back when Dublin, Texas did Dublin Dr. Peppers. With this Old Doc Soda Shop, Dublin Dr. Pepper thing, whatever. That's my shirt. We don't care about my shirt. Alright. Little dippy dip in the bushy bush. Tie it on there. Tie it on there. That's going to go here, but we need to put some thread lock on these guys. And apparently, there's some nuts that need to go on the bottom of these. Who knew? Somebody knew. Williams knew, or whoever did it. Screwdriver. Your screwdriver. There's got to be, oh crap. Line it up, line it up. Where's the holes? Go in your hole. Don't you want to go in the hole? That's what's weird about the Sorcerer, though, is that not only is this bushing missing the screws, like they're not even in the cabinet somewhere. You would think that screws would have fallen out onto the cabinet, bottom of the cabinet, and they haven't. They're gone. Very strange. Never know how unsteady my hand is until I try to do something like this. Alright. Next one there. Okay. And then I'll go grab those nuts. Not that. The nuts that go on the bottom. Apparently. I did not know. I did not know. But now we do. Just extra bonus, I guess. They barely fit. Wonder if they were an add-on. They don't really fit on here. Thread lock's more important, I think. These nuts are just barely on here. my... Hello.
Switches 1337 is now following.
Thank you so much for the follow. I don't think this is the right size either. No, that's way too big. What about this? Are you big enough for those nuts? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You're big enough. Let's not go too tight. We don't want to break anything. Stay there. There. And there. Alright, well, there you go. Maybe I'll do that to the upper flipper. So that is pretty much clean. I'm going to put it back over here. Where's my make cleaner stuff? Make for cleaner. I know. We'll clean this switch too, don't worry. There we go. Stay there. Right there. Okay. Now, let's get that switched on to the new switch. New switches, which means I need some solder. A little bit of solder. We're going to ask for probably a tablespoon of solder and some salt. A little paprika. A little paprika goes a long way in your flipper rebuild. Little people don't know that, you know, you want your flippers to taste good. You don't want them to just look good. You want them to taste good as well. So just make sure that you have that little bit more of that paprika. Let's look at these end of stroke switches here while we're standing here. Get the camera, close-up camera. Ooh, too close, too close. Come on, focus. Focus. So we got the original one is all crusty and white. The new one is all shiny and brassy. So yeah, replace these. If you can't, you can clean the switches, but just, it's part of the kit anyway, just replace it. This will kill your power too. If you don't have a nice clean contact, that'll kill some of your power too. Just FYI. IWF. FY. Solder. Solder? I barely even touched her. Solder. You know it's working if it's smoking. Just don't breathe it. Don't try to breathe it. Yeah, we're just going to reuse it. Reuse it as is. Because I don't want to be short. Don't want to be short my length. I have to go find a new one. Uno there. Wait for it. Thank you. And Bruno here. There we go. Into your forever home. Nice. Keep that there for a second. I want to clean the switches that are on here first before we put everything back. And start putting on the new coil. There we go. Hop rear towel. Just never trust that these switch stacks are going to stay together. Just be very careful with that stuff. Don't want them to fall apart, okay? You don't want them to fall apart, okay? Okay? Okay. Switchy switch. Get your clean on, Switchy. Ew. Ugh. 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 You're dirtier than a thing that's relatively described as dirty. Ugh. Ugh. Get off. Get off of there. We don't need your dirty crud now. Cleany. Cleany McCleany. That's alright. Well, that's alright. We're cleaning a switch. It's not too hard. It's not much of a clean switch. So many words. Alright. Clean the switch itself here. Just a second. Hi, everybody. Hi, Dr. Nick. A little piece of cardboard in between the switch contacts. And I guess this, what I was reading, that this switch changes lanes. I guess you use the flippers to do that. I don't know. Somebody who's played high speed would know. There we go. That makes me feel better. Alright, you go here. Thank you. Now we need to get the switch. Okay. Swing this one back around. There we go. Back to where we were. That's a beauty. How much does a cameraman cost? I need a free cameraman. La da da da. So we gotta go this way. And then you slide these guys into here. And then slide this into here. Yes. Yes, and then, right? Yeah. And then I need to screw these back on before I do the thing. Da 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 da. All right, give me this. All the way down to the pictures I just took. That's right. Right. Just gotta make sure I'm doing it right. Don't want to screw it up. We've done enough screwing up today. Thank you. Come here. Sit. Get. Let go. Let go. Let's get these started, and I'll line it all up. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Thank you. Thank you. Yep. Yep. You like that? You like feeling like you're going here? I need a smaller screwdriver. This one's too big. There it is. This one's too big. It's too big, man. This guy going. We'll straighten it up. These flippers are a little bit more complex than I thought they were going to be. I mean, it's all still relatively the same as every other flipper, but bonuses added with broken coils and stupid big ass switch stacks. There we go. There, that's that. There's those. Okay, so put that back on, and I wish I would have found my thing by now. Where's my buckets? Buckets of stuff. Let me go check inside. the thing here. Just a second. Dab, nabbit. I hate it when I can't find the tool that I want. Because I cleaned up. Now it's harder to do. Ugh. Come here, you. Let me try to make some modifications here. Just a second. You are not the right size. Ugh. You're not the right size either, are you? No, you're not. Trying to find something because I can't find the thing that I want. You're not what I want. Ba-da-da-da. Why is it not in the spot where it was? Why are the tools missing? Somebody save the tools. There. Alright. Now. I'll get it. I'll get it. It's not what I want to do, but it's what I gotta do. Alright. Put this guy back on here. Let's just get it started and then we'll tighten them all down once all of them are in there. Sucks. Where is my tools? Where are my tools? Was I using it when the oven went out? No. I don't think so. I do not think so. Drip, 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 drip. All this just so I can flip. Come on, buddy. Yeah, just come off on there. That works too. So weird. It's so weird how tools just disappear, or you just don't pay attention when you put them down, and then it feels like they've disappeared, and then it takes a few hours or days, and then you find you're like, oh my gosh, that's where it was, right there this whole time. What was I using it for? Was I using it on Jurassic Park? Ooh, maybe it's in Jurassic Park. I had to take Jurassic Park apart. Maybe it's in there. I should open it up. Open it up and see what I can find. Random tools lying around. Da, da, da. Da, 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 da. Da, da, da. Da, 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 da. I don't like this one. I don't want to use it. I don't like it. How can I just not have the right tool? And then all my driver bit thingies are not here either, I don't think. Which one is that? That's not the right size. Which one are you? Are you even bigger? Yeah, you're bigger. Ugh. All the tools that I want are gone. What does that camera move? Smack the cameras now. To all the tools I've lost before. They were here once before and now they're gone. I can't believe we took this long to find each other. Just turn and screw up this stupid song. Just go. Now, tighten that down. Tighten that down. Tighten that down. Then I'm gonna look in Jurassic Park and see if it's in there. And then I've been wasting my time because it was in there the whole time. Be like, dang it! It's here the whole time. One more. I forgot to put you in here. I forgot to put this one in. What? Ratchet. Yeah, of course you're not going to fit now. Beveled edges. Beveled edges, bastards. Alright, Jurassic Park, are you hiding a secret? No. Maybe not. Not there. Nope. Dang it. Not in Jurassic Park. So frustrating. I try to keep the tools where they belong. I try to. But, whatever. Come on. Just get on there. Alright. Now. Whew. Next is the coil? Brand new coil? Brand new, you say? Yes. Yes, I do say. Still gets cleaning though. Brand new coil, brand new sleeve, gonna have a good clean inside. Cleany, cleany, cleany. Cleany, cleany. Thunk sound? Nope. Too clean. Way too clean for thunk sound. Alright. And we got our new coil stop and new coils linkages. Did I get the right one? So it has to face down. This might be the wrong one. This one. Compare it with the photo. Make sure I got the right one. Coils, coils, coils. One that says good. Facing this way. That way. Ooh, I hear a truck. That might be my Cisco truck. Alright, this is the right one. Should go see if that's my delivery truck. Or if it's just across the street. I don't know. Find out. Alright. You, with the spring, in the basement, with Colonel Plum. Right there. There. Just relative. Dude. Just stay in there. We'll be with you in just a second. Hold on. Now, you, new coil, in there. Nice. Sit. Stay. Stay. Alright. Oh, this got to sit over the top of it because that's what they did. Alright, new coil stop. And I'm going to need push that in there the right way. Come on, get in there. I know, just sit. Just sit there for a second. You don't have to do anything, just sit. Alright, thread lock. Thread lock. And Allen wrench is actually where I want it to be, thank you. Allen wrenchy. Wrencher Allens. Allen P wrench. Just get that threaded, get the other one. It's now a new coil. Alright, now let's crank these bad boys in there. And I need to check to make sure that there's not a truck showing up over there so I can unlock the door. And come back and solder this stuff on. Get in there. Let go. Let go. Alright. Come on. Where's my wrench? Wrench! Richard, meet wrench. There we go. Come on. Right there. Thank you. Alright, let me go make sure there's not a truck waiting to go inside. It'll be just 2 seconds. Kind of a chilly day today. A little chilly. Alright. Let's get these wires back. So these two are not going to matter which side goes where because they're just the, I mean, they have to be on the right lugs, right 2 lugs, but they're just for the switch, so it doesn't quite matter which side. Just want to verify my wires again. Alright, yellow's over there, blue's on that side. Need some solder. Solder it up, solder it up. I gotta solder it up. Solder there. There, solder there. Okay. Alright, just a second. I think I see. Alright, where are you, Crash? Give me just a second. Get a little time with Crash Bandicoot here. Be just 1 second. thank you, Crash. Thank you for hanging out for me for a second, Crash. Appreciate that. Alright, time to get our solder on. Cut that off. Get our solder on. It goes this. This one. This one. Thank you. Get a little solder. Soldering up your coils. Because they're new. This one just sits by itself. I'm just going to get a bunch of solder on there. Without breathing. No breathing. Alright. Guys, get out of the way. You've had your turn. Go, stay there. Go. Now one of these goes in the middle. One. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Thank you. There we go. Now, you two get to share one. So maybe throw a little bit more solder on here so I can have something to manage. Alright, hold on. Alright, get together, guys. I want to do this all in one. So we're going to try to hold it all on there. While we do it, maybe some needle nose. Needle, 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 needle. Maybe not. Nope, there they are. Maybe some needle nose. There. Alright, stop it. And hot. Drape it in the cold goodness of solder without touching the wires. That's probably not a good idea. Yeah. My hand is backwards, and that makes it awkward. Awkwards? Awkward. Alright, come here, guys. Let's just get some solder on these wires. Then, when you need 5 hands, but you only have 2, when you need 5 hands, but you only have 2, sometimes it's harder to do. Solder, solder, solder. Who doesn't want to repair pinball machines? This is like the most fun you can do in a day. Alright, I think now it's just put on the flipper bat. But of course, I need them, so will I know where they are? Yes, here they go. What? Shouldn't all be in that bag. Flipper bat, flipper bat. Had to get all new ones, because even the flippers that weren't broken were not the same color anymore, so doesn't really matter, you gotta get all new ones. They're not that expensive, especially when you're already spending a bunch of money on the thing anyway. Oh yeah, I gotta change the cost. price went up dramatically on the cost here. Again, I should change it. See what's it supposed to be at? Should be 240. No, 2,450 is, or 52. 2,452 is what it probably should be at. And why is it going to be like that? Because Brent opted not to paint it. He doesn't want to take the time to paint it. So I bought decals for the side. But that's okay. It's a thing. It's okay. Alright, you go in here. Up, through here. Thank you. Now just sit right there. Just sit right there and we'll figure it out. Where the flipper should go. So on the old playfield, there's little compression springs of where I guess you're supposed to line up the flippers. And I did not take them out and put them in the new one because I did not care to drill more holes in the machine. But I think they just need to line up to the graphics. I probably took pictures of it. There's plenty of pictures out there. Hi. But this game is an easy paint job. This game is an easy paint job when you don't have 40 other games in the lineup. Because he's still got to paint Star Trek, he's still got to paint Superman, and he's just like, you know what? He doesn't really care that much about high speed, so we're just putting the graphics. Whatever. He paid for them, so it's not really... It is what it is. Alright, so what I'm doing right now, I'm just kind of lining it up to where the graphic is. Because I think that's where it was. I can look back here in the photos where the flippers were. Where the flippers were. High speed, high speed. There we go. There's pictures down by the flippers. High speed. Man, I got this thing a long time ago. Alright, pictures. Yeah, a little bit lower than the angle of the graphic. But I don't care. What's going on here? Random videos that I took? Okay. Alright, let's just get it synced up here a little bit first before I try to set it up. Am I going the right way or is it coming off? I think I'm going the wrong way. I am going the wrong way. Tighten. Tighten. Not loosen. Tighten. He was all set to paint it. He was really set to paint it. But he got to thinking about all the other machines we still got to do. And he really wants to get doing them instead. Haunted House, I think, is one of them that he wants to do the paint. As well as Superman and Star Trek. And alright, come on. Just grab it before so it can adjust. Just got to get it tight enough to grab. So grabbed it? Not quite. There we go. Now we've grabbed it. Now I can swing it into position. down just a little bit, or up, whatever way you want to say it. Right there's where I want it. Maybe a little bit more. Right there. Yes, okay. Doing it with a mirror under here. So now I just want to tighten it. Tighten it. There we go. Get it as tight. Flipper bats are kind of like cooking chicken. When you think it's done, cook it a little bit more. Alright, I think that is right. Now, let me just adjust my end of stroke switch here. If I didn't move the tool too far away from me, there it is. There she is. Definitely needs to come back. Come back. Back. Oop, not that far. What are you doing? Alright, go forward. And right at the end. I think that's good. Maybe a little bit more. I don't want it to fire too early. There we go. That feels like the end of the stroke. Yay! Yeah, flipper bats suck to tighten down. In my experience, I'll be doing a rebuild sometime this year on your Data East Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah, the first time I did it, I thought I got it tight. Was on Revenge from Mars, and then it just starts on like, oh, that's not tight enough. Go tighter, even more tight. All right, that should be that guy for now until we get it back in the cabinet. So now, can I angle this to see the other one? Ta-da! Look at that. I didn't even have to move. Both cameras just line up right like that. All you gotta do is move the table. Table stuff. Now, is this coil destroyed like the other one, or is it a good coil? We're about to find out. But it's okay. I bought a ton of coils. I got enough for this game and enough for Sorcerer, just in case Sorcerer is jacked up too. Oh yeah, I think I already took this one apart and it was okay. But whatever. We gotta take it apart anyway. Coils, stop screwing around, thank you. Get that off. Don't tell me what to do. Take the coil sleeve out. Let's examine it. I don't think it's busted like that other one was. It's just dirty, so it could be good to go on that one. Alright, and now we know we have to take them apart because of the stupid nuts at the bottom. Stupid extra nuts. It's extra nutty. You stay over here, we'll clean you in a minute. Don't you tell me where to go now, don't you tell me what to do. Flipper bats are fun for everyone. Give me the screw. Gimme. Why did you steal the screw? What the what? I don't think I have the exact right size thing here. It's kind of grabbing my screw. Oh, that's why. It's metric. Freaking metric. Don't need metric. What about you? You're too big. I know where the right one is. It's on the freaking other freaking thing. Dang it. You're all I ever wanted. Yeah. There's the right size. What I wouldn't have to be searching for if I could just find the other tool that already had it on there. What gets worked? That's a good tip about replacing the end of stroke switches. Always good to do on a game this old. And the bushings because they get warped. Yeah. And what we found out the other day is that this kit, the flipper kit, did not come with the bushings. So I had to order the bushings separately. And that's why it delayed all this flipper rebuild stuff. That and the coil. So yeah. Change them out. But don't throw them away. You never know when you might need one in a pinch. Taking off the screws and putting them under. Wait. It's fun to take things back apart once you've already put them on here, but that's the thing. Here's a video game that I was trying to find a problem in the board, and I had to take the board out at least 40 times and unfold it because it was a 3-layer board to try to find the problem. In and out, in and out, in and out, in and out to try to find the problem, and it all ended up being a manufacturing error on the board where one of the legs for one of the chips was folded under rather than going through the board itself, and that was causing all of my problems. But man, 40 times, in and out, in and out, in and out. Not fun. Finished with the top component assemblies now. I'm finished with all the stuff that I took off when it was in this position. But I still got to do all the stuff that's on when I had it back in the cabinet. I still got to do that because some of the stuff I can't physically put on here on the rotisserie. So once I get the flippers done, I think that's it, and I can put it back in the cabinet and do the rest. So, yeah. Plus I have to get it out of the way because we got to get Sorcerer over here. But I did all the flashers and switches. I wired all those in today. Yeah. Stuff to do, but almost. Come on, buddy. Well, you're getting replaced anyway, so it really doesn't matter. This end of stroke switch is not the same. It's all different. Come here. Get off. There. Now, sit. Oh yeah, this one was also missing. The wire came off. We got to put the wire back on that one. I forgot. What's up? What's this say? There's a thread on Pinside where some guy tried to sell a high-speed machine that he claimed was never played. The CPU was not installed, and the back box was not attached to the machine. Asking price was $10,000. It drew a lot of comments and was rather entertaining. Yeah, I bet. Little much, my friend. Little much. All right, let's get this over here. I'll get the end of stroke switch in a minute. That's fish paper. Yeah, fish paper came off. Might as well sit this over here. It was revealed that the posted real name was Joe Zinnick, and he was known bad guy. The story continues on that thread. Oh, freaking people trying to scam. I don't understand it. They're gonna, and really on that page. Why are you trying to do it on that page? People are a little bit more conscientious, I think. Pretty sure he's asking 20. Some poster said that all persons should avoid contact. This individual, yeah, God. Yeah, like I said, there's still that post for the pinball machine in El Paso that they want $1,000 for. Paint's gone, electromechanical. Even in museum quality, that machine is only worth about $600 to $800. And $1,000 is what he's asking for, and it looks like garbage. I'm like, no, dude, that's barely $100, and that's just for parts. But it's still up there. And I've let it go because, you know, not my problem. I'm not gonna be the guy that buys it. I tried to warn people in the area though. We just bought an arcade game on Sunday that the guy he said $100. It was a Super Hang-On, the motorcycle riding Super Hang-On for $100. And I thought, ooh, that's a really great opportunity. And then we looked at it and like, oh, it's barely worth $100. Level 1 bar. What's up, peoples? Hi, everybody. Camera's over here. Columbus, Ohio, level 1 bar. You have been the subject of all of my stories to my friends the last week or so. Do you have a bar named Level 1 Bar? No, I don't have a bar. They have a bar and arcade in Columbus, Ohio. They're watching in their bar, which is awesome. Crazy weird, but awesome. All right. Come on, dudes. Thank you. Get out. Get out. All the screws, get out. Bushing. This bushing is bushing. We always look for cool streamers to put on our TVs. Aw, and you picked me? I feel so special. Feel so special. I think I lost one of my nuts. There's only 2 there. That's okay. Those nuts are secondary anyway. Good pick. Thank you. Exxon 890. Alright. Come on, you. Ooh. Time to clean up a little bit more. Oh, found it. Found the other nut. It was stuck to the bottom. It's always a good idea to know where your nuts are. Don't ever want to lose your nuts. Now it's on the floor. Come here, you. Holy moly, guacamole, taking all the time. This one's not as bad as the other one, but we know the other one was burned up, so obviously this one's not going to be as bad because it's a little less explodey. And I have found in my time repairing pinball machines that that's the number one rule, is you want a little less explodey. I did a flipper rebuild on an F-14 and the nuts were so brittle, a couple broke apart immediately. Yeah, and these nuts, they're just not, they're backups, really. You really need the thread lock because they thread into here. Thread lock's more important, I think, but whatever. Doesn't hurt to keep it from falling out, I guess. Just so you know, your playfield and such looks much better than his from what I could tell. The photos provided by this person. Well, I would hope that my playfield looked better because mine's brand new. Alright. Bushing. That's bushing. It's become a rather entertaining conversation thread. I might check it out later. I haven't been on Pinside in a while. I got through a few threads on there, and some people do ask me questions through there, but I had one guy that was calling the restaurant trying to ask questions. I'm like, dude, this is a restaurant. This is not an arcade repair hotline. I'm more than willing to help out people and answer questions, but not on my restaurant phone. Come on now. There we go. All right. Thread your locks. Like you want to come to take, you're the to pay. You aren't missing too much on there right now. That's all right. I'll check it out later. I'll read it all later. But yeah, I'm on Pinside when I need help with things. But lately, I'm not saying that I've already learned everything there is to know about pinball repair, but lately, I've got it. Unless there's going to be some really weird thing. So yeah, Pinside's just kind of there. I've kind of gone down the YouTube rabbit hole lately, but not for our arcade stuff. But not into it. Not into the drama. Dude, why would you be magnetic now? Why weren't you magnetic earlier? Thank you. Stupid screwdriver has a magnetic personality. Alright. These guys, okay, now it's going to sit here a second while I clean the switches over there. Because I need to get it cleaner. Wow, 12 people watching. Holy crap, I feel famous. Right now, I feel like I'm the most famous pinball repair guy in southern New Mexico on Twitch. I did not post anything or vote up or down on anything for fear of contact with that person. Oh yeah, don't get on their list. Where are we at? Right here is where it all. I'm trying to do this at a really bad angle. Okay. Oh my gosh. The most important thing about pinball repair is moving all of your cameras. Get this here for a second. Oh. That's not what I wanted. Stay there. I just want you guys here so I can clean you. And then fix it. Fix it! Just block them and move on with my life. There you go. Ain't worth your time. Okay, I'm cleaning first. And then I gotta put the switch on. And just for fun, they have not locked the thread yet. I mean, it's just going to serve people better to have all that knowledge anyway. Yeah, here we go. Let me get this wire that was removed, stripped a little bit. There we go. Put it back on. I wonder if it was already like that. Like, I think it may have broke off before. ETL. Cleaning supplies, please. Baby, tell me what to do now. Tell me what to do. Like all the stuff that I've put on Pinside, I put like my repair logs for when I did OXO and Dracula, because I think that's what's important, is give people that information who's going to fix their machines in the future. People want to know how you fixed them. And then the few questions that I've asked, but I don't stay active on there. I'm not really chatting away with people. I don't need to offer my opinion. I just need to work on my machines. This is bajankety. I don't know if that's a word, but it's bajankety. Clean all that off. We don't need no dirty switches. Your OXO thread. What about my OXO thread? Your OXO thread helped me fix mine. Love that game. See, that's what Pinside should be for. Nice. Glad it helped. And then I had all those T-Rex problems with my Jurassic Park that Stern actually had to send me a new T-Rex after I started that really long thread. With pictures and diagrams and all sorts of crap. A little bit of cardboard. A little bit of cardboard. A little bit of cardboard. Oh yeah. Clean it. Clean it. Oh, that's the stuff. That's where you want it. Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's put the wire back on. Wire. It's on fire. Nice to find those problems. Oh, it's off. It's unplugged. You bastard, you unplugged it. I didn't mean to. Oh. Now I have to wait for heat. Do I have water to drink? While I'm waiting for heat, this part of the broadcast brought to you by Dasani. Dasani, because that's the bottled water I had. It's just water. Who cares what the brand is? It's water. Let me sit in here and get these nuts back on while I'm waiting for my soldering iron real quick. Stupid nuts. Waiting for the solder to get hot. Wait, what's that? What? It's amazing the amount of knowledge and help you can receive on Pinside. You have to do your own background research and such, where there are many highly trained individuals that regularly provide feedback and advice. I would not be doing this right now without Pinside. That's how I learned, was going on Pinside. However, don't be that jackass that just asks the question without looking. Just make sure that you have really, really tried to research and look through the threads. Yeah, help when you can. Don't be a jerk. Just help people keep their machines alive. But I've learned everything from the internet. I've learned all of this stuff from the internet. There's been nobody here to help me. So that's all. Yeah, pay back, pay it forward. I would not have even attempted a playfield swap like this. Oh my gosh. There we go. Got the wrong thing. Also try to help when you can. Have a little experience. Yeah, I read that one. I just don't... I always want to make sure that people understand that I'm still learning too. I have learned a lot in the last few years. That's 2018, I think, is when I started. But I wouldn't say I'm an expert. I'm just doing very good so far. Dumbass is always a very important person that is remaking some boards for various older machines. His new boards look very impressive. Oh well, that might be a different dumbass. That might be an actual worthwhile dumbass compared to other kinds of dumbasses. I gotta take this bajankety end of stroke switch off of here. His handle's actually that word. Well, good way to own it. Good way to own that word. Alright, let me get stupid, ugly end of stroke switch off now that my thing is hot. Oh wait, one thing at a time. I'm getting confused. Getting confused. I'm doing too much at once. I can't keep focused. Breathe in the solder, 'cause that's how you know you're alive. I never met him, but his posts are very technical and impressive. Nice. What was the one before that? That's great. Generally prefer older games they need to survive. Yeah. I've gotten to the point where I love all pinball. Our arcade games are getting a little neglected because I'm focusing so much on pinball and not really focusing on the video games. But these are more interesting to me. And it's my collection. I can do what I want, really. There we go. Are we back on? We got our switches back on. We're not crossed. Alright, you, on the other hand, are god-awful and you need to go away. Off. Off. Thank you. This is an ugly switch. Ugh. Ugh. Where's the new one? Did I already bring it over here? Or did I leave it over there and I'm not looking right? Nope. I already brought it over here. There's the new one. Oh my gosh. What's being said now? I can't read it all. Do you happen to do the spring mod on your flippers or stick with the factory springs? I don't know what the spring mod is. I'm just changing out the, I'm just using the flipper kit. I don't know what could be modded on the flippers. I didn't look it up. It looks like a normal flipper to me. I don't know. Look at this guy. It's just ugly. Ugly, ugly. I think new springs are normally supplied. Yes, they are. The only thing that it didn't have was the bushings, and I had to order the bushings separate. Bushing, 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 bushing. Bushing, 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 did bushing, bushing, bushing. If I recall correctly, you drill a couple of holes. It would look like a newer Fliptronic game. Yeah, I'm not it. Yeah, I don't know. Doesn't sound like something I need to do. Maybe I'll look it up later. See if it's something worth coming back to do. I don't know. These look perfectly like every other flipper. There, thank you. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. I've been learning all this stuff recently. I wasn't sure how popular it really was. Learn from a Pinside thread. Yeah. Well, that's how I learn normally. Like for a playfield swap, I looked at one thread for about 20 minutes. And I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to do it my way. And so far, my way's been okay. Just got to be prepared to do a little bit more work when the playfield doesn't fit. Because it's not the right size. And the holes are in the wrong spot, or they don't even have holes. Pinball Life and Marco are some examples of companies that sell these type of kits. Their prices are very reasonable. Yep. And if you got Gottlieb, just do a Pinball Resource. The only thing about Pinball Resource is you got to be on top of it. Don't try to be overly customer-like. Just tell the guy what you want and get off the phone. That's what they really want. Just get off the phone, move on with your life. Don't ask a bunch of questions, because I know he's just been touchy when I talk to him. He's not a bad guy. He's just been kind of touchy. But anyway, when you got Gottlieb stuff, Pinball Resource. But there's some smaller independent things. What was that? Arcade Parts and Repair. They do a lot of video game stuff, but I found pinball cap kits and stuff for power supplies and stuff on Arcade Parts and Arcade Parts and Repair. They're pretty good. They use good capacitors on all their stuff, and they'll build you kits. And then they'll sell the kits on their websites too, so that one's pretty good. Alright, you go here. I got all this stuff is soldered in, so I think I can come back and bring the thing over here. Steve is the character. Yes, he is. Not a bad guy. I just feel intimidated on the phone with him. Where's that? Where are you at? Excuse me. Get in here. Oh wait, I gotta put this on first anyway, so screw that get in there stuff. This has gotta go on first. I like a new endo stroke switch. It smells like victory. Holy moly macaroni, Kuna. There we go. What does it say? I've had the good pleasure of speaking to Mr. Young, but I've read that about him and listened to interviews on him. He's a good source of info, but you should ask questions constantly and have your background info straight. Yeah, exactly. Know exactly what you're doing. I accidentally got the number wrong on a coil, and he was like, "That's not a coil." Like, and I said the number again. He's like, "That's not a coil." Like, I'm sorry. I apologize. And I looked it up. But otherwise, I mean, he's been pretty cool. I mean, he's cool. He's just got to be. Just don't be that customer, you know? We get enough of those kind of people in our restaurant that are just like trying to be more privileged and more special. Just get what you want. Let the guy get about his day. And make sure you pay him on time. Get that money order in the mail. Steve had some coils from my old United games, saved me from making them. That's cool. Yeah, I think he does. They do make coils, or they make a bunch of stuff too. I saw on TNT that he makes all the Gottlieb stuff and sells all that stuff to like Marco and stuff, since he got the rights to Gottlieb. Is this lined up right? I don't like how this is lined up. It's not nice from time to time asking about stupid things. He will correct you from what I hear, yeah. He's just, yeah. And I get it. I mean, in the restaurant, we get asked stupid questions all the freaking time, and it's like, come on, at least have some semblance. There we go. Switches are feeling kind of switch-like. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Now, put this boy back on. I need to turn this monitor so I can keep reading. It's hard to read when the monitor is facing the wrong way. Monitor, I barely even saw. Oh, never mind. All right, you wackly wobbly weirdo thingies, get back in here. Flip, 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 flip. Oh yeah, drippy drip drip. And then, what do we do after this? I think we flip it over and we verify that we got everything connected. And, I don't know. I might have to put it back in the cabinet. I don't know. The fun thing about the cabinet is, because of that stupid topper, I have to keep ducking it below the doorways when I move it between the rooms. So, I mean, the topper's cool and all, but it's like lights, camera, action. It sits up way too freaking high. Still gotta clean this coil too. I didn't clean that. That's okay. That's okay. We get there, man. All in good time. What's that say? I saw part of it before it scrolled past. I watched a guy in California unbox and set up Godzilla Premium yesterday and install a square bit, a knocker, and several other items in the process. It took about 5 hours to set up that machine. Well, dang. I guess if that's what he wants to do. You know, the Jurassic Park's the only one that we've ever gotten new in the box. And I had to deal with that freaking T-Rex head for like 3 weeks. Because I could tell it wasn't working the first time it started going. I'm like, that can't be right. Because it kept resting its head on the wire form. Like, that's not right. And then, yeah, 3 weeks of trying to get that T-Rex to work right. On my brand new machine. But it works right now. He also replaced rubber and added round washers to all the slings and some other details. He was very meticulous. Yep. I changed out the rubbers on my Jurassic Park 2 when I got it. Since I had to wait anyway for the T-Rex head, I changed all those out to silicone, I think. Yeah, silicone ones. Just so I didn't have to do it again. My gosh, it's kind of hard to get some of those spots on that to get to the rubbers. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. Dun, 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 dun. There we go. There you go. Who's that little guy? You good? You good? Oh, we got a diode down. We got a diode down. No. What the hell? Why is all that so weak? After he got finished, everything worked perfectly, and then he proceeded to blow up the machine. I assume he blew up the machine metaphorically. That's still my biggest problem. Is I'm not very good at playing. Probably never have to deal with the new in the box game. Can't afford them. Yeah, we couldn't afford it either, but we were feeling depressed because of COVID, and we decided to buy one. Like, screw it. Let's just try one time. Out of all of our machines, out of the 100 machines we have, let's get one brand new in the box. is there so much solder on that? Hold on. Where's my sucker? Including Scorbit, the QR device, the knocker, etc. Even a Scorbit technical guy on the stream that assisted at one point. Wow. Nice. I did buy the Insider kits. We don't have them yet. I bought them for our Iron Maiden and Jurassic Park because maybe it'll help in the arcade format, arcade setting anyway. Come on, right there. Just be whole again. I'm interested with the Insider connected thing to be able to play some of those modes that were only available if you had the topper. Well, at least with Insider connected, you should be able to play the modes. So that's kind of what I'm interested in. Maybe people will think it's cool. I don't know. What was that? I don't know what that was. All right. I'm going to clean this coil because it's dirty. Dirty, dirty, dirty. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Nice to feel your coil a little bit dirty. And as long as the coil works, it doesn't care if, I don't care if it's ugly. Just not all explodey like the other one was. And we'll just reuse it. Just no splodies. Cleaning out the stuff. Clean, clean, clean. Cleaning my coil sleeve. It's brand new, so it shouldn't be dirty. This, on the other hand, is probably pretty dirty. Yep. Yippers. Nice. Oh, a little tight. I think he was in Santa Cruz, California. Hold on. Ooh. I don't like that. I don't want it to be tight. Well, let's see if we have to change it out after all. Where's my mallet? It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Is my mallet where everything else was that I needed? Oh, there it is. What's all this being said? Lynn's Arcade, if I'm not mistaken, he also mentioned of a Raccoon City or whatever that is. Did have an Alien Machine. Alright, well, probably means the next time I have to do this, I'm going to change out the coil completely, but a little tight on the coil sleeve. Maybe it heated up a little bit more than it should have, but I think we're still okay. There's no scorch marks. Set that there for a second. Listed address, Scorbit, Raccoon City, so I know if it, oh. I'm almost out of alcohol, I need some more now. Thank you. you. I want to thank you. Get some linkages listed, cleaned off here. Springtime. Springtime. In there. In here. Like that. There. Thank you. Stay there. Stay. My understanding is wow. Wow. All right. All right. Don't tell me what to do. Stay there. Did I have my wrench over here? Yes, I do. These coils have a little slot in them to line up with the coil stop. Good luck to you on the rebuild. Gotta go. Thank you, Dent. Thanks for hanging out. I don't even know what time it is now. It's been 3 hours, so yeah, it's gotta be near 3 o'clock here. Hey Siri, what time is it?
It's 2:42 p.m.
2:42 in New Mexico. Good luck. Well, that's alright. At least I'm getting stuff done. That there. Come on. Push this in here a little bit so I feel better. Thank you. That there. Wrench. Hey, Wrenchy. Hey, Wrenchy Wrench. Wouldn't want to wrench this out. Oh, yes. Tight. And tight. Thank you. Flipper bat. Flipper bat. Flipper bat. Gonna tell you where the flipper is at. Oh, my flipper bat is here now. Get my mirror lined up so you can see what I'm doing. Into the hole. Into the hole. Line up your flipper. Into the hole. Alright, let's tighten it up a little bit first. Yeah. Get a little tighter before we line it up. Flipping. They call it flippy fun, flippy fun, flippy fun. Oh yeah. Am I going the wrong way again? I am going the wrong way. Stupid backwards thingy. Can't believe which way I was going. Was screwing it all up anyway. Line it up. Line it up, kids. Alright, and then one more thing. since we now realize that there's nuts on the bottom of these flipper assemblies, I'm going to go back down to that other one and really quickly get the nuts on there. Didn't realize that they were there. But it is what it is. Always having to redo stuff. And then I'll flip it over and see where I need to be to put it back in the machine. Come on. Give me a little bit of grip. Nope. Grippy, grippy. Oh, not that much. Hold on. Alright, now. Lining my flippers. It's not where it's supposed to be. Why is there a hole right there? Is there a hole on that side? There's a hole on that side. Oh. Well, I'm not putting those stupid things in anyway. There's just going to be a hole. Flipper. And then pull it down a little bit. There. Lined up with the other one. Yeah, feel like yes. A little bit more. Alright, right there. Right there. Yeah. Get it on there. Get it tight. Uno más more. There we go. It's flipping, but obviously it's not lined up to the EOS, so we need to readjust that. Ugh. There we go. End of stroke. End of stroke. There it is. Where's the tool? No, that's not it. It's over here. There it is. There it is. Gotta get the right tool. Alright. Come way back here on the way back machine. Not yet. Almost. Maybe too far. A little bit back. Right. I think right there. Linky, linky. Nice, nice. Double flippers. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. Now, let me just go back and redo my apparent mistake that I didn't realize was a mistake. Which shouldn't take too long. I don't think. I say that, but I could be completely wrong. If you're not taking it apart 1,000 times, are you even doing it right? There it is. Alright, just this should take, hopefully, should not take very long. Just means we gotta do it again. I don't know what that noise is. It's always noises. I didn't know there were nuts on the bottom. It's always something. Always something. Who knew? I didn't. Boom, 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 ba-dum, 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 boom, 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 ba-dum, 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 ba-da-da-dum, boom, ba-da-da-dum, boom, ba-da-da-dum, boom, 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 boom. Oh, I better not have to take that stupid thing off. Stupid. Can't believe it. Don't want to do it. Have to anyway. It's just the name of repair work when you haven't done it 1,000 times is you just got to do it. Hey, what's up? Hey, what is up? Just rebuilding flippers, man. On my brand new playfield that I just swapped out. Working on getting it back in the machine, or put it in the machine for the first time since it's brand new. That's what's up. What's up with you? Alright. A little bit of backtracking again. I think I already backtracked on this flipper once. Nothing like doing it 2 more times. Got to get really good and associated with this flipper so I know what I'm doing. I feel like I might have to move this stupid coil and I don't want to. Dang it. I'm going to have to move the coil, aren't I? Dang it! Curious how many hours you got in so far. One of your first episodes of 3Bill is awesome content. Thank you. For the most part, I've streamed all of the playfield swap. So, where are we at? I mean, it's got to be nearing 24 hours, 22, 24 hours. I don't know. I haven't really looked it up. Otherwise, the couple little things that I've done off stream have been like a half an hour or whatever. I haven't really gotten into it off stream. So when it comes to this playfield swap, just add up all the ones and find out. I'm pretty sure we're nearing about 22 hours or so. Because I've never done it before, so we gotta learn while we do it. I did not want to take that apart, but oh well. How else you going to get it right unless you have to take it apart 1,000 times? All right. Where are these nuts? There they are. Stupid nuts. Just get on there. I didn't know. And it's on the floor, and it's out. Oh, it's gone. Found it. It's all right. We know a guy in Wisconsin that's been doing this kind of stuff for decades. And like when he does a rebuild, like he did when Brent was up there visiting with him, he did a original Star Wars pinball machine. He just throws everything in the box because he's done so many of them. He's done so many that he doesn't even have to map out where everything goes. That's been doing it all the time. So I'm not to that point yet. This stuff still takes me a while. Recently got your first pin and started getting into tinkering and repairs. Good. I honestly believe that people should not even own a pinball machine unless they know how to work on it. So that's a good skill to know. They don't have to do this, really. I mean, I can't imagine people ever wanting to do a playfield swap. But it's good to know. on. That's on. Okay, they're on. Alright, let's just get past all this stuff that I've been doing over and over again. Flip this thing over, see where we're at. Start putting the stuff back together in the thing. That'd be awesome. All that for 3 nuts. 3 nuts, but it was necessary. Playfield swap is what brought me in. Oh. Well. Enjoy then. I was intimidated a few years ago before I had any pinball machines, and I saw the underside of a playfield. That scared the heck out of me. I didn't want to fix one at all. And now I'm to this point where I'm actually just completely rebuilding it. And I love it. I'd rather do this than play them. I'm not very good at playing, but I like doing this stuff. Brent's the other guy, Brent, he's very good at playing. But when it comes to the hobby, I like repairing them more than playing most of the time. As frustrating as it can be. I gotta remember to get all this stuff on YouTube as well. I always forget to upload the videos to YouTube, so some of the stuff has disappeared over time. The earlier, like Hyperball stuff, and I think all the spaceship stuff I forgot. I'm not that great either, but I really enjoy doing the repairs. Nice. Yeah, I like getting them working. Working on designing one now too, so I think that's my next stage of learning is design your own pinball machine. I mean, after I do a playfield swap, really, where else could I go other than designing? Don't tell me where to go now. Almost, come on. I know. We didn't want to be taken apart again, but we are. Build mods, maybe? Design from scratch, I think. That's what I want to do. There's some things that I want to see a pinball machine do, so I think I'm going to do it. I don't have any engineering degrees or anything, but I can do a little bit of construction, so I can fake it until I make it. I can at least get it to look the way I want it to, and then maybe that'll interest somebody to help me out along the way with the more technical things of coding and stuff like that, integrating video and all that stuff. Alright, I am tired of taking this flipper apart. You have better be done now. You're on here, you got all the little bits and nooks and crannies and all that stuff. Hey, don't you start. We're talking. Alright. Get this back in where it was. I love when you have to take off other components just to get to where you need to go. That'll be pretty cool, sweet. Come on. Find your hole. Right there. Is that where you go? That's where you go. Come on. Everybody has a hole. Find your hole. Come on. That's not where you go. That's not where you go. Come on. Don't make me take these back out. Ugh. side is not wanting to line up. Come here. Go in your hole. Try to do things one way and it's just, you're just going to make it worse. Just do it the other way. Come on. I know. I know. I know. I know. I know. You don't wanna, but we have to. Come out. Come out. Go out. Good. You coming out? You're gonna play later? Get in there. There we are. Oh my gosh, dude. Really? Last thing? Thank you. This is not what we wanted. Alright, you go in your hole. Thank you. And you line up to your holes. Where are your holes? Right there. That's your holes. Find your holes. Go in. Go in. Face the other way. Face the other way. Get in the hole. Alright, you sitting there? Thank you. Now, get this. I say I'm going to work on the other side of the play field here for a little bit, maybe. But before we ever turn anything on, when we get it back in the thing, I have to go over every little switch, make sure I didn't accidentally bridge something with a wire or a diode. I would hate to try to find that problem later. It shouldn't take too long. Just be methodical. Go to all the lights. Go to all the switches. Make sure all those diodes and stuff are not accidentally squished on to switches that they're not supposed to be. But then again, this is all about doing it the right way and not necessarily the fast way. So that's really what's more important. Got pieces in the tumbler right now trying to sand off some crud. I gotta check the tumbler to see if they actually got any better. That'd be cool. Cool, cool, cool. Alright, I'm tired. Is that it? Alright, guys. That's that. Alright, flippers. Flipper back on. Again, for the third time, hopefully the last time. Put this stupid flipper back on. Thank you. Thank you. Not a lot of room to turn it, but that's okay. Get it to where it gives you a little bit of grip. And then we'll line it up. A little bit of grip. Line it up. Come here, you. Get the mirror right so I can see. Thank you. Right there. Yes, right there. Up, up, up. Tight, tight, tight. First flipper I see tonight. Oh, yeah. One more for good measure. Hopefully it doesn't break on me. Thank you. Whew. All right. Now. Back that train up. Whoop, 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 whoop. Unplug the soldering iron before I burn myself somewhere. What's under here? Back it out of the way. Let's go back to the top, see where we're at. what else I have to do, or what can I do on the rotisserie before I can, before I have to put it back in the machine. Oh, getting loose. It's getting loose. There she blows, there she blows. I can't believe how she goes. Whoa. It's so pretty. Alright, pop bumpers. I've done the pop bumpers. I've wired in the lights. Skirts are functioning. Let me go get some here, hold on. Let me get my gloves on so I don't get these dirty. Nothing like getting it dirty. What do we got? We got new rubbers. See how well these stretch. Brand new. Oh wait, let me tighten this so I don't flip the playfield over. Again. Tighten up. There, stay there. Stay there, stay there, stay there, stay there, stay there. I don't think I did too bad of a job for putting the flippers on upside down. Anybody? Nobody? Okay. Oh, don't slide off the table now. Give me that glove. Get back that way. It's a pity. It's so pretty. Got enough room? Yeah. Yeah! It's so pretty. It's so pretty. Problem was when I went to go get these rubbers, which these are the Titan silicone ones. Gottlieb manuals. I had to get Haunted House, Sorcerer, and this. The Gottlieb manuals have a Gottlieb code number for the sizes, but it tells you the quantity. These manuals have the sizes, but they don't tell you the quantity. So I was trying to trust what people had on Titan. Bad idea. That didn't work out very well. I already know this switch has to be readjusted. That gotta go down a lot further. So hopefully I've got all the ones that I need now. And I went with the all yellow kit because it looked pretty cool. Okay. I'm not going to put them all on. I just wanted to see what they look like. And then there's a couple that I want to try to put on without taking the screws off. That's these posts. See if I can do it without taking the head off. Yeah. That one goes there. This one is here. Nice. So shiny. Yeah, it is. It's brand new. It better be shiny. Right here. And then I think they go on this. I'm kind of guessing here that this where these go. I'll have to get the book back out or off the internet. How many more of those do I have? 1, 2, 3. I think maybe some go on the back. But anyway, we're not going to put all of them on, obviously, because I got to get everything else cleaned and back on. I just wanted to see what those looked like. Pretty good looking. It's nice and yellow. It's all yellow. Never been to New Mexico, but I think I might need to take a trip to visit you and play that shiny high speed. Heck yeah, man. Come play the rest of our games too. We got tons of games, and we love people coming in to play them because it helps with the hobby. But yep, we're here in little old New Mexico. Okay. Ooh, that one's not tight. Oh, maybe it is now because I just did that. There we go. All right. I like it. We got to do a lot more. But I think I'm going to verify a little bit more off stream or whatever. I'm going to verify everything and then put it in the cabinet. Other things I got to do, we're going to repaint the spinners and put new decals on them. Brent said he ordered new pop bumper caps, even though our pop bumper caps are okay. He wanted new ones. So we ordered new pop bumper caps. It's going to be beautiful. I mean, we're putting a lot of money into it, but we're never going to sell it. It'll just be our beautiful little baby. Our beautiful baby! But these are all wired now. That's all wired. I'm feeling like I might be at the point where I could put it back into the cabinet. And even though I'm going to have to take it back out of the cabinet so we can do the cabinet, blah, 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 blah. But whatever. I got to make sure that I got to get this working. But, for now, have a great day. Be well. Thank you so much. I'm going to call it for today. That's 3 hours and 35 minutes of pinball repair fun. Thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out. Thank you so much for the new followers and the conversation. So much fun. I don't know when I'll be back. Maybe tomorrow night. I got to fix some games in the arcade. A couple power supplies went out. So I might have to do that before Friday. I don't know. But we'll keep going on this. And then Sorcerer. We got to get Sorcerer in here. Because that one's going to give us some money. Hopefully. The guy's going to pay us to fix it. Need some money in this arcade. But I'm going to take the afternoon off. Go get some lunch. I'll see you guys. Thanks for hanging out. Peace out. Thank you so much for the people that followed. We'll see you next time. Rebuilding, repairing, fixing games. Bye, everybody.